Hello, my friends, and welcome to Seize the Day. I am so excited that you are here today to once again talk about being your best you and living your best life. This weekend, I spent some time at home and there was a Indiana Jones marathon on. Yeah, I'm a sci-fi geek. I love me some Indiana Jones. You know, the whole bit, the fact that he's a professor who has a secret, amazing life where he's, finding all these amazing artifacts and doing all these adventurous things and everything surrounding Indiana Jones, I simply love. So in the Indiana Jones marathon, the final movie came on at the end of the night. And in the final movie, the one about the Crystal Skull, he is reunited with Miriam from the very first movie 30 years later. So he's reunited with her, and they, in the end of the movie, end up getting married. After 30 years of being apart and doing all these other things, they get married 30 years later. In the audience of the wedding, some of his good friends were there, and one of them said this: "How much of the human existence is wasted on waiting?" I'm going to say that again. He said, how much of the human existence is wasted on waiting? Now, I know this is a fictional movie and all that, but the meaning of that statement and the feeling behind it really reigns true for all of us in so many aspects of our life. Now, I'm not talking about waiting in the sense of waiting in line or waiting at the airport or waiting at a restaurant. Although those things do take up a lot of our time in life, that's not the type of waiting I want to talk about today. I want to talk about the type of waiting that we inflict on ourselves for whatever reason which may be. In the instance of Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull, he and Miriam had waited 30 years to finally live their life together. And his friend's comment was, how much of life is wasted in waiting? So let's talk about that. Let's talk about what actions you are waiting to take that could positively change your life. So what type of actions are you waiting to take that could possibly positively affect the rest of your existence? And why do we do this? Why do we wait? So I think a lot of times we are waiting in general for the perfect moment. We think, well, the perfect moment will come and I will start my new business, or I will tell that person, like Indiana Jones, I'll tell that person that I want to be with them, or I will start my diet nutrition plan. I'll do all these things when the perfect moment comes. What is the perfect moment? Well, for many, it means many different things. For some, the perfect moment means, and a lot of you, especially ladies, I've heard say, the perfect moment will come when my kids grow up and leave the house. So you say, I'll start going to the gym when my kids leave the house. Well, for a lot of you that I've heard say that, your kids are 10 years old. So you're going to wait a minimum of 8 years or so to start going to the gym when your kids leave the house. Just think of how far you could get and how much healthier you could be in 8 years if you did it despite the fact that your kids were at home. I understand that kids at home is difficult. Listen, I get it. So many of you ladies I take my hats off to you because it's a very difficult job. Ladies and gentlemen as well. But your health and fitness and your remainder of your life based on your health is too important to wait till the kids leave the house. A lot of you will say, well, I'll go on this vacation when the kids leave. I'll do this and that when the kids leave. And then unfortunately, as we've seen in our world today with the pandemic and everything surrounding it, that sometime, who knows where you're going to be at that point. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, let alone what's going to happen in the next 8 years. Another reason why you may lay in waiting is you're waiting for permission and support from someone else. And I got to tell you, you ladies especially, I hear all the time, I want to succeed in my fitness goals, but I don't have any support. I want to break out and start my new business, but I don't have any support. I want to do XYZ, but I don't have any support. I got to tell you right now, you and you alone are responsible for your life, your choices, and your future. You do not need to have a cheerleading section in order to live your life. One of my deisms I love to tell you all, there is no garden that you cannot grow for yourself. And let me say that again. There is no garden that you cannot grow for yourself. Waiting around for support from others, you're never going to start. I promise you. And here's the funny thing. If you do find support in the beginning of your endeavor, as you go and time goes on, people have things in their own life to deal with, and that support is going to waver. Especially when it comes to, I see it all the time, and I'm going to use the world of NPC, IFBB, your first show, those of you that compete, your very first show, you have your whole family there and everybody's all excited. By the time you are competing for a few years, you're lucky if one person comes. So if your reason for success and your reason toward working toward the things you want is support of others, it's not going to last. So don't wait for the support of someone else to live your life. You and you alone are responsible for your own future and your own life. Yes, it's wonderful to have supportive people in your life, and it can help you, feel great on a daily basis. But if you don't have that, it is no reason not to start. Because again, let me say it one more time. There is no garden that you cannot grow for yourself. One of the biggest reasons people wait to enjoy their life is because I think they need to lose weight first. Let's talk about this one. This one's a biggie. Many times I've heard women say, I'm not going to go to the beach. I'm not going to go to the pool. I'm not going to go on this vacation until I lose weight. What in the hell does losing weight have to do with you enjoying the company of others at the beach? It has nothing to do with it. And I got to tell you, nobody really cares what you look like at the beach anyway. Nobody's looking at you. They're enjoying their own life. No one cares. We get really wrapped up. We think everybody's staring at us and judging us. No one cares. No one cares. But what you are going to care about is when hopefully you live to 110, like I always say. When you're 110, are you going to look back to the summer of 2020? Well, the summer of 2020 is going to be a little rough, but let's say the summer of 2020, where you could have gone to the beach on occasion. And are you going to say, you know what? I sure am happy I didn't go to the beach that weekend because I was fat and everybody would have judged me. Or are you going to say, you know what? I had the best weekend at the beach with friends and family. I remember that beautiful, wonderful day that I spent with the people I love. Which is it going to be? I got to tell you, it's funny, those of you who are just starting your fitness journey may be very surprised to know that a lot of people who are extremely fit are the worst at that. Yep, you will see models, competitors, pageant girls who you think have the most beautiful bodies in the world. If they're not in contest shape, they refuse to put on a swimsuit. They're wasting their life and their beauty and everything else on silliness. Don't be that. And don't be someone that the better you look, the worse you feel about putting on a swimsuit because you're not perfect. Like I said, no one really cares. And if the people in your life do care and would rather you stay home because you might not look a certain way, then maybe you need different people in your life. Because people who love you and support you and think the world of you, they're really not going to care. They're going to want to spend the time with you. Live your life. Don't wait to lose weight to live your life. Please do not waste your youth. And in the grand scheme of things, we're all young. Don't waste your youth on a little bit of fat here, a little bit of fat there. That's not what it's all about. It's enjoying life. Yes, there's nothing wrong with wanting to be better. There's nothing wrong with fitness and getting healthy and feel that. I love that. That's the greatest thing in the world. However, you can't not live your life because you're not there yet. I got to bring up the Indiana Jones thing, where he and Miriam finally, after 30 years, end up together. And I'm not gonna talk about this one for a long period of time. But if you've got somebody in your life that you love, or that you want to see if maybe you two could spend your life together, don't wait. Don't wait out of fear of rejection. It's better to be rejected and move on to other things than to always be waiting and wondering. So take that chance. Just my 2 cents. I think a lot of us wait because of fear. We wait a fear of being judged. We wait a fear of failure. And one of the great psychiatrists of our time, Dr. Sternberg, did a huge study about those who feel fear failure versus those that crave success. And he found unequivocally that those who crave success find success much more regularly than those who fear failure. So what that means is the trait of craving success actually brings much more success than fearing failure. Now that's probably because those who fear failure maybe don't put their neck out as far, or maybe they hold back. Those that crave success put themselves out there and go for it. But that's a great lesson, and it's more than a lesson. It's a psychological, finding that we must crave success. So I think a lot of times when we wait and we waste our time in waiting, it's because we are fearing failure. We're thinking, what if I try and I fail? What if I go for it and it doesn't work out? And I'm here to tell you from personal experience that a lot of times, if you work on something and you try something and it doesn't work out, guess what? It leads you towards something better. I don't trust anyone who's never failed. I got to tell you right now, if you've never had a failure, I don't know if I want to be working with you, because you don't know what it's like, and you haven't worked through that. All of us, almost all of us, have failed, and you learn from those failures. So don't be afraid to fail, because at some point, you may find that failure led you to greater heights. And I can tell you in my own life, that's happened over and over and over. And as those of you know me know, I love turtles. And here's why. Turtles teach us that you never get anywhere unless you stick your neck out. I actually have a turtle that I keep on my desk to remind myself of that. You never get anywhere unless you stick your neck out. You cannot fear failure. You cannot fear the unknown. You've got to work past that and understand that being fearless is not a lack of fear. Being fearless is being scared to death and moving forward anyway. You should be more afraid of wasting time in waiting, because we got to remember, we aren't in control of time. Time is in control of us. And the more time we waste in waiting, the more time life has passed us by, and the less time we have to do amazing things and make a difference. So be like a turtle. Stick your neck out. Don't be afraid to fear failure. And you know what? If you fear failure a little bit, that's okay. But let's crave success more and work past that fear and keep moving forward anyway. Talking to you today, I really thought about this for the last few days, about speaking with you about this. And it really all came from watching that movie, the Indiana Jones movie, where they said, how much of the human experience is wasted on waiting? What are you waiting on? What things are holding you back from being all that you can be, enjoying life, from living and enjoying the human experience? What are you waiting on? And why are you waiting on it? If it's because your kids haven't left yet, work around it. It can be done. If it's because you feel that you need to lose weight first before you enjoy your life, please know that's not what it's all about. Losing weight will not make you happy. I tell you that right now. The state of what your body looks like doesn't determine happiness or unhappiness. There's so much more to it. You need to enjoy who you are now, and it's great to push to be better. It's great to push to improve yourself and to become healthier and fitter, but you cannot wait to live life until that happens. You're going to waste moment after moment, and who knows how many any of us have. If you're waiting because you're afraid, if you're waiting because you fear the failure that may very well happen if you stick your neck out, you got to get over it. You got to push past that fear. And please understand that most failures, if they are done in a sense of wanting to be better, lead us to even better things, or where we possibly were supposed to be. Perhaps that thing we tried wasn't where we were meant to be, and by failing, it's the universe's way of showing us where we're really meant to be. And if we keep our eyes open, it can lead us to greater things. So today and this week, I want you to think about, what are you waiting on? I would love for you to start putting things into motion, no matter how small, to stop waiting. Are you waiting to plan that vacation? Well, we're not vacationing right now, most of us, because of the pandemic, but you sure can start putting some pennies away for when you can. Are you waiting to start that new business because you think you don't have all the support and the resources that you need? Start one step at a time. Do some research on your topic of choice. Again, put a few pennies away. Buy a book. Start writing down your ideas. But start that motion so that you stop waiting. And one small step snowballs into great things and leading the life you were born to live. So let's all stop wasting time and waiting. Let's make this the week that we start taking steps toward living our best life and become all we were meant to be. Thank you for listening, guys. Hope y'all have a great week. And don't forget every day to seize the day.